Hello, hello. It's JJ DiGeronimo, and I'm very excited to join all of you today. This is one of our first group initiatives, group energy activities, and the person that is kicking us off in this amazing virtual group is Cassandra DeAnn. Cassandra DeAnn and I go back a long time. She has been on the Together We Seek podcast, and her gifts have emerged year to year. And she is an amazing trance channeler. And I am so honored that she is here with us today. We have a group of people that are joining us virtually here on that may be joining the call periodically, but we're going to kick it off to Cassandra to talk a little bit about what trance channeling is, and then she is going to trance channel for us. So you'll be part of the experience. So, Cassandra, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you, JJ. I'm so excited to be here and be able to connect in this way and share a little bit more about trance channeling. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm eager to see kind of what energy comes through today. So yeah, thank you for the beautiful introduction. I would say that, I want to share my perspective of kind of what I like to how I view trance channeling, because I think that often we can kind of look at another person's gifts or different expressions and see them in ways that feels very far off where I feel like channeling is something that we all have access to, and in different capacities we experience more than we realize, even as simplistic as when we allow ourselves to go into a deep relaxed state while we are doing arts or music, or things that invite us to enter into a state of flow where all of a sudden we are just being and expressing, and then we kind of have that moment where like, whoa, where did the time go, or how did I come up with that? It's the energy of kind of allowing the mind to step aside and going into some form of connection that allows us to bring forth something forward. So when I'm describing it in the sense of what I'm doing, essentially what I'm doing is I'm going into a very deep meditative state in which then I am coming in connection to or allowing different energy frequencies to kind of engage with me. Now, I get asked a lot, the question of, oh, well, does just anything come in? Or, well, while I channel many different energies, there is a very particular relationship, I would say, that I have with my own boundaries and my own essence of the energies I connect with. And nothing comes forward without me knowing consciously before I enter the state of trance. So some of the energies I've channeled have been galactic, angelic, different ancient archetypes like Merlin or Thoth. And I am in connection with them before I allow myself to be shared as a channel. Once I start trance channeling, my consciousness is receded. So I don't really remember or recall what was said or communicated. So it's a beautiful feeling though. When I come out of trance, people are always like, are you okay? Like, what are you feeling? And it's just this euphoric, high frequency energy, which is why I love trance channeling, because it's allows everyone engaged to experience that closeness and energy frequency for themselves. And it's hard to label or describe until you experience. So, yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to experience this. This is probably my third trance channeling session. And if people are catching this after we recorded, all of Cassandra's links are below, and you can visit her YouTube channel as well. She is an amazing energy and has helped so many. So with many of us here listening in, there are many of us here virtually that are listening in at one time. I think we'll kick it off if that's okay with you. And if anyone has questions, they can definitely put it in the chat so we can do it that way. And then we look forward to seeing how this unfolds and the energy that comes forward for us, especially on such a magical day.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, I love it. And I think that as I'm entering into the state, it's going to take me a couple of minutes to connect, and I'm just going to invite everybody to join me in that. But I do want to offer one more piece of information is sometimes when dealing with high frequency, technology can lag or we can have technical difficulty. If anything comes up like that, usually the energy connected will communicate in some form with you, but it's been known to happen, just to put that out there. So I'm going to start tuning in. And I just ask that anyone listening or joining here today in the group to just kind of take a moment to equally close your eyes. If you are listening to this and driving, obviously you might want to wait, but coming into the essence of your body. We don't take often moments to breathe and be present. So this is my invitation to you, because as you are relaxing into your essence, as you are taking deep breaths and allowing yourself to relax into your body, you equally are connecting with the frequency of the group of high love and light that wishes to connect through channeling. So I invite you to just take this moment of presence, feeling your body relax, feeling love and connection, grounded. And I ask you to continue to be present and breathe as I do the same and begin to connect. How delightful for these beautiful souls to gather in this frequency of love today. It is a beautiful time to connect. We wish to introduce ourselves. We are an ancient Lemurian frequency. We would advise, if you so choose, you may refer to our frequency as Grandmama. We have come today to share with you our frequency of connection, of love, and to be of assistance in any way we may, as it relates to the times in which you find yourselves collectively and individually. At this time, we would open to conversation and communion among one another. Might there be a way in which we may assist at this time?
Yes, thank you so much, Grandmama, for joining us. We are so honored. We have amazing souls that have joined us here today, and I feel like we are all on our individual journeys. And if I could speak more for the group, I feel like many of us are knowing that there are no new doorways to walk through as we have been shifting for some time.
This is beautifully stated, yes, and it is agreed that your collective race is in a particular new becoming in ways it has not been expressed. We will be specific in saying, while this is to be said new in language, this is most relatable, yet it is equally so not new, for it is of your essence that has always been there among you beneath the surface. It is that you have collectively reached a place in which you are opening up or releasing layers to reveal more that you are and to be expressed in new ways, for the time is ripe to be received with such new frequencies of expression.
This is beautiful, and I appreciate this. I feel like all of us here in the virtual group that have met are leaning into new energies and new gifts, yet many of us question our abilities and sometimes struggle with confidence.
Yes, this is of the human condition. We are aware. We will approach this subject as follows. It is of this lack in confidence that often arises in a desire to see things or feel a security within things that exist. For example, where your people are going, it may be easy at this time to see yourselves in that which already was. We will be frank and speak in clean language. If you wish to be a sports player, it is easy to see what other sports players might interest you, to understand what it takes to be of said frequency or expression, and apply yourselves as so. Yet, it is more challenging yes, we understand when you are expressing of that in which you may not have clear examples of how these gifts may be used or expressed, because this is not anything that has ever been needed. Yet, of the human condition, it is something that has been relied upon. That said, we would say that we can communicate to you and say that it is relevant for you to be trusting and to simply be of your expression and follow that which you are guided towards and feels of your utmost excitement. Yet, we understand this is not always entirely the answer you may wish to receive. Therefore, we would say one other way is in remembering. Because if the example cannot be found externally, sometimes the answer can feel more comfortable internally when there is a connection. This is a time in which your people are very intrigued to know more of themselves, their abilities, and where they came from. In exploring one's journey, one may recall past lives, past experiences, past connections that help one to understand that you may feel, aha, this is me. I am of this particular thing. If you came from a long line of family that was gifted in sports, we will use this again for it is relatable, perhaps then you would say, well, of course, I may equally so be gifted in sports. This is not anything that would be a far stretch. Rather, it is something that feels closer to home, closer to reach. So, for those that are seeking more comfort, for it is in the comfort you're looking for confidence, we would say exploring your soul's experience, your soul's journey, your connections, your past lives can be equally so a comforting way to feel more identifying or accessing to that which is uncovering. Not required. Not required. One may simply be and trust. Yet, if this is difficult or not enough, this is another suggestion one may consider. Do you find that this may be useful information?
Yes, thank you. I have a question with all of that. So, would going into our journey with the mindset of progress over perfection benefit us?
Beautiful, very intentional language we sense that you are using. This shows growth and your experience and understanding. Yes, perfectionism should not ever be the intention. It should be embodiment. And whatever one may hold or feel or sense in your journey to feel you are capable of moving forward, not in perfection, but in embodiment. It is essential in feeling a sense of I am in your gifts and abilities. With this comes more ease and expression. Do you find this helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Hello. Hi, Grandmama. I have a question for you. I just wanted to know, how can someone invite more external guidance from people at your from beings at your frequency, to define our innate gifts and find out what we should do with them? So I feel that I do have gifts, and I can see them manifest outwardly in situations at times, but I can't really put a pin, so to say, on what the core thing is that I should be exploring more deeply and I should be focusing on internally.
We may answer. We will answer frankly. It is equally so often of the human experience in which there is added unnecessary complications. You may find that when you are with yourself, when you are tuning in to your essence, that you may find that what is desiring your attention is already. It is understandable that many of your people are feeling as if there are particulars in which they must focus. There is purpose in which they must follow. It is sometimes as if humans may feel that they are missing the boat or that they are misaligned. We would say to this that in every situation, in every moment, in every feeling, you are exactly where you are meant to be. The energy that wishes for your attention is internally already calling you. Our guidance to all those listening would be, it is within the decluttering of the mind or the noise and the willingness to sit with oneself and listen, that you may find that in which is calling is already there. We will add further to this specifically those listening. Another layer is you may sit with yourself and you may feel your calling and you think, well, and we will exaggerate and be of humor. Well, I simply wish to go walk my dog. And you think of this is distraction. This is pulling me away from the work I should be doing. Yet, in fact, what is constantly calling your species is presence and moment and trust in your natural leading and calling. But it is often mislooked as distraction, not answering enough, or overly simplistic. Our answer to you specifically, my dear, would be that look at what is already calling. We equally so would ask, we feel we can speak more to your particular gifts and abilities if you were to grant us permission to connect with your soul records. Is this something you would allow?
Yes, absolutely.
If you are unclear, we can reframe the question. We wish to give you more information, yet we will not proceed with sharing your specific gifts if you do not wish for us to access that information. Nothing is done without one's free will of choice.
I choose for you to access them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are scanning your frequency for more clarity. You have many gifts. We sense in your frequency, for one, that your energy has a calming nature to those around you. We feel as if we are sensing that part of this is and allowing people to confront, would be a good word, or to access that which wishes to be seen. This is something that may be unconscious in the degree or the extent in which it is relevant. You are, in every moment that you are showing up in your authentic expression, you are making an impact and you are fulfilling what may be perceived as purpose. For what is purpose is simply that of being all that you are in every given moment. We also sense that you have the ability to hear. When we say hear, we will be specific, not only in the capacity of listening or holding space, but equally so, your intuitive gift that is, or rather will become stronger, would be that of clairaudience, your ability to hear spirit, your ability to hear information. This would be what we wish to share with you today, to be present, to listen to that of yourself, to understand you have these gifts. They will continue to be expressed in various ways. But what is desiring to be seen is already calling you. Do you find this information to be helpful?
Yes, very much so. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hi again, Grandmama. So I too would like you to access my records so that I can hone in on what gifts that I should be sharing.
Very well. We may do this, but also to be clear, do you understand the message of that the suggestion is to reframe, to embrace and embody the gifts in which that I am? Not shoulds, but rather I am. We will scan
Okay.
your frequency. One moment. We sense in connecting to you, first and foremost, a sense of longing. Longing for, there is a longing for a specific connection. There is a longing in the sense of genuine engagement. We sense you have a very grounded, earth-like frequency. There is a longing for impact, specifically. We speak to this longing for, and your particular connection, it feels very relevant. The suggestion we wish to share with you specifically today is that a key aspect of understanding where we are collectively going is in understanding that a key is in connection. This is an area that your people have much to expand upon and learn. we would say that it would be useful guidance perhaps for you to be of more attentive, or rather more aware of where you are intentionally opening yourself to connection. Be of out and availability. You may, as simple as going to your local coffee shops, or a random stranger who says hello. View and understand that connection is significant for you. Your energy frequency is one that carries more of, we sense a teaching quality. Yet in this quality, there is the necessity for connection. We are seeking better language to communicate your particular essence. We would say, in your desire to reach, it is of your accessibility, your openness. Do not look for specific containers to be relevant to that in which you long to share. All containers are available to you through your energy when you are open and sharing. We sense there is also a healing frequency that follows you and your engagements. This healing frequency, we would say, may be taking a new expression, we would say, in the next 6 months. This is something that will be experienced through presence alone, not by force, not by seeking, but it will come to you the more in which you are open. This is what we wish to share with you today. You are very gifted, my dear, and will make the impact you desire. You will have the depth of connection that you long for. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Grandmama.
Hello, Grandmama. I would like to take our discussion in maybe a little bit of a different direction. Here on Earth, we are in the middle of a lot of turbulence around this emerging technology of artificial intelligence. And there is a lot of debate around it, whether it is an emerging consciousness or not. There's a lot of fear around what it can become. And it is a technology that has been birthed from a lot of masculine energy. And I see so many women actually staying away from it. I see it as a tool, as something that can actually help get the feminine voice out there when used correctly. But I struggle myself with the debate between the fear and the hype, and is it doom or is it the savior? And so I'm curious about your insights into this evolution that we are experiencing to help us walk the right path and shepherd it correctly, because I do believe it can go in either direction, depending on who's helping it.
What a beautiful question. Yes, we are delighted to share with you our thoughts on this subject. This is, we would say, layered. There are many aspects in which we could speak to. We will sort and organize them. Where to begin? First, we would say what is essential to be accepted or understood is that is the ever evolving nature of the universe to be shifting, changing, and adjusting. Therefore, it is no surprise that your collective is in a position in which they are being discovering, no, we will correct our language, being given opportunity to discover new tools. We will speak bluntly and we will use a little humor. One may have a hammer and use that tool to hammer nails. This will then be a very effective tool. One may equally so take a hammer and use it to smash their neighbor's window. This would not be good use of this hammer, no. The hammer in and of itself exists. You cannot control how everyone will choose to use that hammer. You cannot equally so assume, because of the invention of a hammer, that you are either regressing or going in poor directions, or that it is the savior or answer. It is simply a tool. This is the first layer in acceptance that in evolution, new technologies, new ways of being that have the potential to be great assets to where you are going do exist. There are equally so with this many layers in which may be considered, including 1, you as a species will be moving towards that of a galactic nature. This is a very large topic we will not dive into, but it is of so, and we feel most aligned in stating it. In becoming a galactic nature, there are technology advancements that are necessary for forward motion. We will also say that with this technology, it is in and of itself doing work that may be provoking areas of reflection, such as one person who is a gifted artist may see this tool as a threat and begin to question their own worthiness of their ability. Will I sell art? Will people value my expression? There are many layers with that. Equally so, there are those who may feel as if they desire for certain expressions for the sake of communication or assistance that there has been a gap, and this tool may allow there to be filling in that gap. It may be more productive in some ways. And yes, there are many other layers. We are speaking very simplistically, only to invite the energy of curiosity and to understand that it is not of the tool in and of itself that is the maker or destroyer. It is within the various many layers of individual journey and expression and decision that decide where or how it is used. The final note we wish to share on this conversation would be as so. It is of an importance to understand that as spiritual beings, that you are co-creators of your reality. It is relevant to understand what channel or frequency you are watching or tuning into. One may not watch a thriller and expect to experience a romantic movie. This would not be possible. Therefore, it is more relevant in consideration of how you choose to use this tool, for the tool is there and will continue. But the world, the reality you create to the one you desire, you wish to experience, how you wish to use it is most relevant to your particular experience. We understand the complexity of this new information, but hope that what we have shared was useful in some form to your question.
Thank you, Grandmama. It very much was. If I could ask a follow-up, would you be willing to scan my frequency and my records to help me understand the role I'm meant to play in that space?
In relation to your question, just to be clear, this is the specifics of your question, yes?
Yes.
Very well, yes. We will gladly scan your frequency. One moment. When connecting, we instantly notice a theme of passion. There is a passion around this topic. We are scanning for more. This is the guidance in which we wish to share. We sense a genuine passion and interest within this topic. And as we have shared earlier, that it is within the individual's ability to sit with oneself, they may see where they are being called or what they are being drawn towards. In this, we would say that in your frequency, it feels as if you are being called or drawn into this topic of interest. Therefore, in each person's life, as they are drawn, it is, yes, beneficial to move towards that which is calling to you. We are scanning to see if there is more guidance. We feel as if when there is aligned energy and there is nuanced expressions in this, we would say, a suggestion of allowance is beneficial for each human as they are drawn to certain topics. To explore, the ability to explore without expectation and knowing in each moment what is received or experienced is of your highest good. That said, it would be beneficial, yes, for you to entertain or pursue that in which is calling to you as it relates to this particular tool. There is the capacity for there to be growth in yourself and in what is shared and how it is shared with others. We feel that this is the completion of the guidance that wishes to be shared regarding this subject. Is this useful?
It is, Grandmama. Thank you very much.
At this time, we feel as if there is one last question. We would be able to assist with one more.
Well, first, we just want to thank you for joining us. This is the beginning of virtual gatherings to share among each other, but also to integrate the wisdom that comes beyond the planet. And I feel like it's very giddy that we were able to pull this off in this nature. And Cassandra is such an amazing vehicle to help us connect with our higher purpose. So I first just really want to thank you for joining us and creating this mile marker of the beginning of doing it in this way.
Beautifully spoken. Yes. It is our pleasure.
And I think with that, I probably would have a question in regards to how, like, if there is guidance on moving forward, as we have an amazing group of practitioners and healers and mystics, and working to activate these discussions in a way that not only helps the individual, but also just raises the frequency for all of us.
Very, very good question. We are sensing the best way to answer this. First and foremost, we would say simplicity. When you are living amongst such a unusual time, a time when nothing feels solid, when you are encouraged to come into that in which you fully are. No mask, no illusions. It is a raw time, we would say, for your people, and feeling the true essence of who they are, what they do, and why they do what they do, what fuels them. Simplicity. It is within the understanding that presence alone is the impact. It is easy to be in such a time in which you feel you must find the answers, you must make adjustments, you must save the world. Rather, we would say, how can you connect with your neighbor? How can you love yourself? How can you give yourself permission to be without expectations? This is where you activate all that you are. It is not complex. It is within acceptance, embodiment of self, and in so you are able to connect where your people are going It is not about likeness. Yes, you may have your tribe, but it is about each individual and how you connect, how your authenticity plays relevance to those around you. Not by effort or force, but a willingness. We would say, a suggestion. Wake up and say, how can I just be today? Just be. No pressure. How can I open my heart today? Not closed. Not, well, I can't speak to so-and-so down the street, or my neighbor. She is low frequency and complains. She then drains my energy. Yes, we must be mindful of where our capacity are, but what we are saying is notice the stories around that in which you are creating realities that might not be necessary to be created. Instead, rather, have the conversation, be open, and when you notice your boundaries, then you express them and change your action from there, if necessary, if it's repetitive. Do not assume the worst of your day, of your neighbors. Basic. Yes, I sense the simplicity. But yet this is the guidance. Hopefully, our words are well received.
Your message is well received, and the nuggets that you provided us today are so simple yet complicated sometimes to execute, because it is about starting with us and how we move through the world and how we listen to what's coming through us. And I am just so honored that you have chosen to spend this time with us and share such beautiful messages.
Thank you. We will then, at this time, say our farewell. We are grateful for your presence. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And that is our first trance channeling experience within the group Together We Seek with our dear friend Cassandra DeAnn. If you enjoyed that, please visit her with the links below, follow her on YouTube, and let us know how the experience goes. We will be working to schedule more group events with different practitioners so that we can experience light, love, and messages beyond. Thank you.